Good morning. Buenos dias, and welcome to the First Unitarian Universalist Church of San Antonio. Our weekly worship is where we connect, share information, and inspiration. My name is Donna Pereira. I've been a UU for 30 years and a member of this congregation for 10. I've served on the membership committee, the board, stewardship, and I'm now aligned with these lovely people on the Trust Fund of Endowments. Our faith is all-inclusive and all means all. We strive to attract and act a universal love that binds us in mutual care and affection, especially in our work for justice for our planet and all its people. Let us bring to mind the many different homelands of our ancestors and be grateful that we can join here in beloved community, owing in part to their journeys. Let us recognize that San Antonio, also called Yanaguana, is the homeland of the Coechican, whose people have lived here for over 8,000 years. Their descendants, knowledge keepers of this area, still struggle for the right to participate in decisions that affect their people, property, and sacred heritage sites. We invite those who are visiting for the first time to rise so we can see you and greet you. Anyone? Welcome. If you are interested in becoming a member of this community, please ask any member or staff. Any of us can help you join. We have a membership book that you must sign, and we ask that you make an annual contribution to help fund the ministry. If you are new to us or visiting for the first time today, we welcome you to fill out a yellow visitor's card. We'd like to get to know you and follow up with you. Wherever you are on your life's journey, we hope you will find your place with us. I do have one announcement this morning. You are warmly invited to join us for a Ramadan dinner on Wednesday, March 18th at 7 p.m. in the Fellowship Hall. This evening is sponsored by the Raindrop Foundation and is open to all, so feel free to bring your family and friends. There is still room for 20 more guests, so don't hesitate to spread the word. Come share in the spirit of the season and the joy of community around the table. You can see Jessica Latimer for more information. Now, I invite you to greet your neighbors and extend a warm welcome to one another.
Good morning. It's great to see you all here on this rainy day. Aren't we glad for the rain? At the start of spring break, having lost an hour's sleep. So thank you for being here. If you were here at last week's service or watched it online, you heard about the key value of stewardship. That is, the importance of giving whatever we can, monetarily or otherwise, to keep these doors open for one more year. The Stewardship Committee and Dr. XK impressed upon us very compellingly why we all need to come together to support this church. They are a tough act to follow. But here we are today to also talk about giving, but with a different purpose and perspective. Today we're talking about the Trust Fund of Endowments. Many of you know what it's all about, but some of you may be at best a little confused and at worst completely in the dark. Let me tell you what the Trust Fund is not. It's not stewardship, which is all about our need to pay the bills in the near term for another year. Important, right? We wouldn't be here without that. It's not CREF, the Community Responsibility Endowment Fund. That's about giving to entities in the wider community beyond these walls, outside this church. I love that CREF gives us the opportunity to collectively live our values beyond these walls. So what is the Trust Fund of Endowments? Essentially, it's our own long-term savings plan. It's a fund that enables us to pay for major needs here at home. Sometimes it's about boring but necessary things like roof repairs and air conditioners. Other times it's about more obvious things like the building of this beautiful sanctuary all those years ago and the recent renovation of our fellowship hall. In any case, our perspective here today is on the ongoing long-term viability of this church. Our opening words, thank you, wasn't expecting that. Our opening words are from an essay by Ella Boyer entitled, Right Here, Right Now. As we create and share sacred space together, let us reflect upon what brings us here. We have all come here for different reasons, from different decisions, faced different challenges, and shared different love. And yet, all of our differences have led us to this space right here, right now. Some believe we are here for a greater purpose. Others hold fast to a claim of complete coincidence. Others still lie somewhere in between. There are so many differences and barriers between each individual, it would seem at times as though the odds were stacked against us becoming one whole, as we believe different things, live and experience different things, and value and hate different things. We are the children of God, the children of the earth, or fully grown adults here as a piece of the ongoing cycles of the universe, the children of the stars. We all have different definitions and explanations to who or what or why we are. Perhaps all are right. Our revelation is not sealed. Despite all that is different, there is one thing that is certainly the same. Somehow, we are all right here, right now. We are growing and changing and discovering all here, all together, sharing the same sacred space we have shared for years throughout generations, constantly evolving, constantly changing. Let us continue. Let us change and fight together. Let us adapt together. Let us grow together. Let us worship together. At this time, I invite a fellow board member, Trust Fund board member, Pat Ellis, to light the chalice. May the flame of this chalice, the symbol of our faith, connect us all to those who have come before us, all who are with us in body and spirit, and all who are yet to come into being. May it serve as a reminder of our unity and connection across all time and space. I invite you now to please rise in body or spirit as you are so moved, and join us in singing hymn number 308.
Good morning. Please join me in reciting our covenant. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest of truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humanity in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other. El amor es la doctrina de esta iglesia. Su sacramento es la búsqueda de la verdad. Y su oración es el servicio, convivir en paz, buscar sabiduría en libertad, dar a la humanidad nuestro servicio fraternal para que todas las almas crezcan en armonía con la divinidad. Así pactamos el uno con el otro. Dana Clark.
At the end of this song, I'm going to ask us all to go into a few moments of silent meditation. They were just as loving people who had open hearts and minds, and they longed to make a better world for all of humankind. As they searched the world for wisdom, they found many seeds of truth. And when they knew what they believed, they knew what they must do. They left us a legacy, serving humanity. Just look around and see, we're not alone. With compassion, they were focused on the issues of the day. And when a change was needed, they joined hands and led the way. They could see what must be done, for they weren't blinded by a creed. They chose to meet each problem, not with dogma, but with deeds. Beloved community, rich in diversity, our chosen family, calling us home. When we face future challenges, the past will be our guide, trusting that together we'll be working side by side, growing in the spirit, led by love instead of fear. Building this tradition we will pass on through the years. We'll leave them a legacy, serving humanity. Just look around and see, we're not alone. Beloved community, rich in diversity, our chosen family, calling us home. We'll leave them a legacy. I invite you to take that thought and move into the silence.
for reflection. As you choose, please come forward for our stone ceremony. One by one, we take a moment to physically center our thoughts on a stone, then drop it into the bowl. May this physical act and the intention behind it give us life. Along with our personal thoughts, we have a couple of notes today from the Community Book of Joys and Concerns. John Gibson's mother, Sandra Basham, is undergoing a difficult recovery from thoracic surgery. Her family welcomes your prayers and well wishes. And It Takes a Faith, Reverend Yadi's ministry, is a photo exhibit by Salgu Wismath. The opening reception is today in the Fellowship Hall after service from 12 to 3 p.m. Please join us there to meet the artist and to enjoy light refreshments. And now it's time for Story Wisdom.
Good morning. My name is Tim Versteeg. My pronouns are he, him, and it's my great pleasure to be the Director of Lifespan Religious Education here at the church. Come on down. And I would like to invite the young and the young at heart to come on down and hear a story. And they're already coming, so that's good. What's that? I'm not sure. So today we're talking about something called legacy and endowments. And I thought, you know, it's not just churches that there are legacy about. Hey, how you doing, Elias? Come on down. It's also just all over the world and in nature too. It's true. So I'm going to read you a book called In a Nutshell, and it shows how things carry on from generation to generation, and we all affect the future of our world. High in the treetops, plump acorns were leaving their sunlit home and falling into darkness below. One little acorn wanted to stay in the light forever, but it soon lost its grip and fell too. A moment later, it landed with a thump and lay still. The forest floor was very, very dark.
That's a snake.
Oh, a snake or an earthworm, eh? Somewhere deep inside, the acorn knew it must get back to the sunlight. It would have to break free of its shell and become bigger than it was. So, when the season was right, the acorn burst open. It pushed out roots and a stem and stretched itself into a tiny sapling. And the sapling took food from the wet soil. It soaked up every drop of light its tiny leaves could reach and grew in a little more each day. As days passed into the years, the sapling discovered that becoming an oak wasn't easy. Hungry moths nibbled it. Vines choked it. Sometimes it was icy cold. At other times, it was burning hot. Yeah, there's fire, isn't there? Hard times helped make the sapling strong as it grew into a tree. Yet even the strongest trees weren't safe from everything. Still, it kept on growing and reaching for the sun. Years passed, and what was once a small acorn became the tallest tree in the forest, with deep roots and sturdy branches. Countless leaves touched the sunlight, and they turned the light into life and filled the tree and flowed over. It dropped acorns of its own, giving life to little oak trees and food to the forest creatures. It's feeding the turkeys there, I think. Too many.
That's a little caterpillar, right?
I don't know. I think that's just part of the turkey's face. I don't think it's a caterpillar. Turkeys have weird faces. To many, the tree gave a home. But when it was old and tired, and its limbs and roots were rotten, the mighty tree could grow no more. Its life as an oak was almost over. And the only way for it to become bigger than it was now was to die. When the tree fell, its crash shook the whole forest.
It's lightning, right?
Lightning, yeah. Worms and bugs took the tree's life and returned it to the soil. And finally, the tree became a pile of rich...
I like the slug and the worms and those.
You like all the bugs? Yeah.
I like the snouts. Do you like the snouts? I like bugs.
You don't like bugs, or you do like bugs?
I don't.
You don't like bugs. Some people like bugs, some people not so much, but bugs are necessary.
Mr. could like bugs.
Okay.
I doesn't like bugs too.
Okay. Finally, the tree became a pile of rich, dark earth. No one remembered that it was once a living tree grown from an acorn. It seemed that the oak was gone forever when another tree was planted there. And the life of the oak passed from the soil into the new tree, a cherry tree. Do you like cherries?
Why do you have tape on your face?
It holds my microphone on. When the cherry tree grew up, birds ate the fruit, scattering cherry seeds and new life all through the forest, until the life of the acorn became part of everything even the people, because they're eating the cherry pie, right? So that is one way to think of legacy, is passing stuff on. And with that, our story is ended, and the folks that are doing the playground will be waiting you at the back. Thank you for listening and participating. See you, Elias.
A reading of words by Ashley Rawthorne. My granddad was a giant of a man in so many senses. At 6'2", he seemed to tower above everyone else, especially as a small child. I have fond memories of climbing on his shoulders, feeling like I'd scaled a huge tree, clinging to his smooth bald head, or grabbing at his perfectly trimmed goatee beard for dear life as we bounded down the street. Living 100 miles away, we didn't see each other often, but the time we had left a deep imprint, and one I'll carry with me for the rest of my life. His endless optimism, even in the hardest of circumstances, his gentleness, his terrible sense of humor, his faith, his love for family, his enduring love for his wife. But in many ways, I never knew much about his life, certainly his younger years. That was until he decided to write down his life story and self-published a book, which he gave us all before pancreatic cancer took his life. His career spanned from a police officer in the Royal Air Force to coal delivery driver, to traveling preacher, to university warden, to debt collector. He took his family and, it seems, long-suffering wife on many adventures, from time living in Cyprus to moving into a derelict farmhouse after leaving the RAF, to time volunteering in a Romanian orphanage after the fall of communism. Peter Simmons left his legacy in two main ways. He left a family legacy of 4 daughters, 12 grandchildren, and 20 great-grandchildren, and counting. And he left a legacy of values carried by the people that knew him well. But while rich in family and in character, he had little money, never owning a house. And what he did have, he gave away in life. If he did have money, I know he would have left a financial legacy too. He may not have subconsciously thought it, but when he knew time was running out, my granddad chose to make sure he could live on by writing down his life story to be a lasting memory for those who were closest to him. And while his life was unique, this behavior was quite common, natural in fact, because through ongoing research into the motivations of legacy giving, we understand there is an almost universal human need to pass something on, whether financial or otherwise, to have our lives live on in some symbolic way after death. For a growing number of people, this is found in legacy and bequest gifts, not simply a means of philanthropy or tax avoidance. We know that they create real value for the donor. Legacy giving is proven to help people age well and to find a new sense of meaning later in life. It is even proven to make donors feel happier.
Several years ago, under the leadership of a member, Ellis Olson. Is Ellis here today? There you are. Yes, Ellis Olson, she's back there. Under Arliss's leadership, she was a former member of this board of the Trust Fund of Endowments. This church, under her leadership, established a legacy society. The purpose of the Legacy Society is to recognize those members who have indicated that they plan to leave a bequest to the church in their estate plans. Whether they formalized that wish in a will or other legal document, or simply informed us through other means, they've made it known to us that they intend to leave a portion of their assets to this church. So we've asked several of those folks on the Legacy Society to speak to us today about why they've taken that step. Our first speaker is Carol Birch.
Good morning. So I'm giving to the church in my will because this church matters to me. It's a place that lends me strength in my quest for social justice. It's a place that gives me comfort and hope as I look out at our tangled up world. It's a place that helps me hold a mirror up to myself and see how I can grow. It was an easy decision for me. I don't have kids to pass my money on to. And maybe I'll spend everything before I die and the church won't get anything anyway. But I hope there is something left to propel forward what others have propelled for me. Things like community, things like a way to express religious values that include, not exclude. A way to be a positive presence in the world, not a negative one. What this church means to me in a concrete sense is a place to go when I'm feeling bad, to be surrounded by people of like heart. I want the church to continue in the future so future Carol Birches have a place to go where love is preached. I want the future Carol, the future selves of all of us, to have a place to go when they despair of the world. I want to pay forward what past supporters of this church put in place for me. I give to the church in my will because I like seeing all the children and knowing they're being taught about love, not hate for themselves, for who they happen to be, or hate for others, but love. They may still need years of therapy as adults, but not because of what they learned in this church. I include this church in my will because I love beautiful things, and this church is a beautiful thing. The people in this church bring me joy, have brought me joy for many years, and I want to give that joy back to others in the future. I am so lucky to have a community that holds me in love. I have a lot of anger about the world today, and this church gives me a way to convert that anger productively and lovingly. This is where I come to get respite from the world, to go back out reinvigorated. And so that's why I've included the church in my will.
I'm Diane Dusterhoft.
I'm Mike Phillips.
Happy International Women's Day. And happy Women's History Month. This month invites us to reflect on courage, continuity, and the impact we have beyond our own lifetimes. This makes it a fitting time to talk about legacy and why we have chosen to include First Unitarian Universalist Church of San Antonio in our legacy giving plans. Talking about estate planning during stewardship season may seem risky, especially when our stewardship committee is working diligently to encourage our congregants to make meaningful annual pledges. But this is not an either-or conversation. Annual giving and legacy giving is a both-and commitment. Annual giving sustains the church we value today. Legacy giving helps ensure that the church will be here for those who come after us. A Unitarian Universalist congregation plays a unique and vital role in the larger community. First UU of San Antonio has long been a place where people of many faith traditions and perspectives can gather in shared humanity. I think back to the weeks following September 11th, 2001. In a time of fear and grief, our congregation opened its sanctuary to host a panel conversation bringing together voices from several faith traditions. While similar conversations eventually happened elsewhere in the city, it seems that UUs are usually among the first to create space for dialogue, compassion, and listening. Legacy giving helps ensure that the church will be ready to respond in future times of crisis, to foster understanding, and to serve as a moral and spiritual home for our wider community. On a more personal level, we want others to have the kinds of experiences we have had here. We want them to remember joyful gatherings and celebrations, such as an unforgettable Mardi Gras party featuring the Green Man. We want them to experience music filling our sanctuary, moments of beauty that remind us why this space matters. That has included concerts by our wonderful First UU musicians and world-renowned musicians like guitarist Tommy Emmanuel, Will Taylor, and Lucy Blue Tremblay, as well as musical performances by the Almos Ensemble, the former Alamo City Men's Chorale, and more. We want this congregation to be here for seekers now and in the future. This congregation was here when we got to know members who are no longer with us, like Ron Dodson, Alice Douglas, Ed Brown, Hank Lippert, Suzanne and Nevin Rupp, Jane and Woody Tuck, Keith and Rowena Rogers, among others. They live on in our memories and hearts, and their legacies live on in this place. This congregation is here now with people we cherish, who we are still getting to know, and people we will never have the chance to meet. Including First UU in our legacy plans is our way of saying, we believe in you. We trust in the future this congregation will create. There are many ways to participate in legacy giving. For us, it meant making a simple statement in our wills to leave a portion of our estate to First UU. This does not have to be an all or nothing choice. You can leave an estate to your loved ones and still designate a portion or a specific amount to this congregation. Your attorney can help answer questions and explore options for leaving a legacy gift, or contact one of the trustees of the Trust Fund of Endowments for more information. Legacy giving is not about wealth. It is about values. It is about naming what has mattered in your life and choosing to support its future. We have included First UU in our legacy giving plans because this church matters to us, to this city, and to generations yet to come. We hope you will consider doing the same.
I have a very selfish reason for being a member of this church. It makes me happy. It makes me happy to hear sermons that challenge my intellect, that flip things on their edge and help me understand something in a new way. It makes me happy to listen to beautiful music every week from our fabulous choir, from honest sirens, and from soloists and flautists and violinists and drummers and others who pop up or pop in from time to time. Singing makes me happy, and I get to sing with all of you. We sing hymns that give inspiration artfully and stir the passions we share. It makes me happy to watch your children and remember when my own middle-aged adult children were small and funny. It makes me happy to go with you to events that promote social justice or economic justice in our city. I know all of us can't do that, and I don't do it all the time, but when I do, I know all of us are with me. You are the wind beneath my wings. It makes me happy to be reminded over and over again that we have so many separate and different discussion groups and affinity groups and gaming groups and eating groups and celebrations too, like those for coming of age, like those for welcoming new members, and seeing transformative films or listening to a guest speaker or just having fun. Okay, it doesn't make me happy every single minute of every day. There have been little tiffs and some disappointments, and there was even a time that it made me deeply sorrowful. But it's not just giddy bliss we're after. That's not what we're looking for. It's the kind of happiness and wholeness that you feel with your family, with the ups and downs that make the happiness real, that make the happiness palpable. Looking back, there were times in Jeff's and my life when we wished we could do more, give more. I mean, to help create the church of our wildest dreams. It just seemed like the bank and the pediatrician and the credit card company and the IRS and the babies and the children and the teenagers and college students and Jeff's business and my work too placed more urgent demands on our income. And they had sterner ways of getting at it. But now I have a chance to give back in a way that other demands cannot compete with. Or if not, I won't know, I'll be dead. Because what I did was to arrange for a portion or a percentage of whatever is mine that is left when I'm gone to still do something good, to leave a legacy. And knowing that I can help make you and your family and some people I've never even met who join this community later, knowing I can do something to help make all of those people happy, well, that really makes me happy.
We'd like to thank our speakers, not just for your very eloquent words today and your intent to leave a bequest to this church, but for all you do for our community and the example you set of embodying our UU values. Thank you. We should also recognize the other members of the Legacy Society who are on this lovely list, which we just put our hands on. It kind of got buried under all the brouhaha with the renovation, and we were able to put our hands back on it. We will display this list prominently somewhere to be arranged, but I'd like you all to check it out to see who else is on the Legacy Society. Let me mention that there are many ways to contribute in addition to leaving a legacy. Any of us on this board would be happy to speak with you if you're interested and you'd like to know more. Or you can also pick up one of our new beautiful brochures, newly printed, which has a little bit of information about how you can give to the Trust Fund if you'd like to do that. We now, and these will be available, these are available in the foyer on the table, and I think we're going to be handing out some at the end of the service today as well in the foyer. Now we have a special announcement. Polly Noel and Jessica Latimer would like to make an announcement.
Good morning.
Again.
I'm Polly Noel.
I'm Jessica Latimer.
We have good news for you from the Capital Campaign Committee. In November 2024, this congregation voted to withdraw $240,000 from the Trust Fund of the Endowments and to take out a line of credit from Frost Bank to guarantee that we would have enough funds to complete the Fellowship Hall renovation, which was originally estimated to cost over $1,240,000.
The Fellowship Hall renovation was successfully completed in September with beauty and with an amazing kitchen and lounge.
We finally received the last bill from the construction company just a couple of weeks ago.
And we'll be able to pay it with the remaining funds in the Capital Campaign Reserve account.
And guess what? We never had to use the line of credit.
And we never had to use any of the trust fund money.
So we can return all $240,000 back to the trust fund. A detailed report on capital campaign expenditures will be shared with the congregation soon. Thanks so much to everyone who supported the capital campaign. Woohoo!
So challenged. That is really terrific news. Thank you, Polly and Jessica, for that news. That's very exciting. After that $240,000 is returned, it'll bring the balance of our endowment to just over $300,000. And we will report to you in an upcoming newsletter more details about that. Now, that seems like a lot of money, and it is. But it's generally understood that a church of our size should have much more in its endowment, 2 or 3 times as much. So we're still very underfunded, and we have a long way to go. But with the help of people like our speakers today and many of you out there, we're confident that this endowment can grow. Tracy?
The following words are excerpted from a reading by UU minister Michael Hall. The offering we take each Sunday is an opportunity to recommit to this place, its people, and it is as much of a ritual as singing together, lighting our chalice, or reciting our unison affirmation. It is a reminder of that form of love that we call generosity. It is how we show that we believe it is important to worship together, to help our community, and to say yes to the values of our faith. As we approach the time for our offering, Please give what you will for the church that has meant so much to you, for the church that meant so much to those who came before you, and for the church that will mean so much to people that you will never know. Give what you will, for you are a generous people. Would the ushers please come forward? May the fruit of these gifts nurture us and all who come after us. We bless these gifts and we bless the givers. May it be so. And now, if you will please rise in body and or spirit for our closing hymn, number 1 in your gray hymnal.
Once again, I'd like to thank our speakers today and to Dana Clark for enriching our service so much. I leave you with these closing words as we extinguish the chalice. Let us go forth through the door of hope for the future, remembering these words by Martin Luther. Even if I knew that tomorrow the world would go to pieces, I would still plant my apple tree. Go in peace.